prompt comes from Choe, who is a short story specialist, and it's a great prompt. It's all about metaphors, and people are already having a lot of fun with it. We were talking about it in the StoryADay Superstars writing hangout this morning, and the ideas that people were coming up with for this were so much fun. And the idea is to write a flash fiction piece. So flash fiction is such a great form. It's not just that it's 1,000 words, it has to flash. So I have a workshop on fiction that flashes, and I'm going to work on putting that together as a standalone workshop today, so you can pick that up if you have an interest. If you are a member of the Superstars group, or if you've taken the iWriter course, don't buy this because you already have access to it. But everyone else, if you want to take a look at what really makes flash fiction work, I have that for you today. I will have that for you later today, because you're going to use it so much during this challenge. And anytime you want to get a short story written in a short amount of time and make it flash, there's the New York Midnight Flash Fiction contest coming up at the end of the month, which I quite often take part in. I know a lot of you do as well. So this will be great practice. There's a technique that I talk about in my flash fiction workshop that I haven't seen anybody else talk about, and it's to do with metaphors and the choice of words. So it goes really well with today's prompt, today being the 2nd of May 2025, but it goes really well with any effort that you're making. Some of an hour fleshing out what story would be about. The prompt wants you to work with a metaphor, so I went and found a metaphor in everyday language that tickled me, that I thought I could play with, and I started trying to write, but I found that I was just kind of writing and writing and writing and nothing was happening. So I did what I don't always do, which is I won't say outline, I'll say brainstormed. I brainstormed some ideas for today's writing. I thought about who my character would be. I thought about what they want, because that's really important. Otherwise, you're just kind of writing nothing. If your character doesn't want something, then there's nothing for them to strive after. There's nothing for the reader to root for them for. And then I thought about what type of story it would be. And if you've heard Mary Robinette Kowal talk about the mice quotient, she talks about it on the Writing Excuses podcast. She talks about it on her own site. It's a really good way of helping you figure out what type of story you want to tell. Do you want to tell a story that's largely about the setting and the world? Do you want to tell a story which is largely a mystery? Do you want to tell a story that's largely about the character journey from being dissatisfied with who they are to being satisfied? Do you want to tell an event story where something big happens in the world, like an action movie, disaster movie type thing, and everything falls apart and needs to be reconstructed? So I went through that exercise of thinking about what type of story I want to write, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a character story. So I started outlining what might happen in the story, really just to help myself, brainstorming it, just to help myself get to a point where I will have a story that I can tell in 1,000 words, and that I can write this evening or this afternoon when I have a little bit more time. And I'm going to go about my day now. I'm going to mull it over. I'm going to just let those ideas stew, percolate, bubble inside my brain while I get other stuff done. And then I'm going to come back, and I think that by the time I do that, I will have images, phrases, jokes that I want to put into my story, and then I think it's going to write pretty smoothly later on. A first draft, obviously. All right, so if you want to come over to storyaday.org and see that prompt, it's right on the front page. It's a really good one. And if you want to start writing, you should do that now. And I will be posting the link to the flash fiction workshop, the standalone version, for those of you who don't have access to it yet. And away we go. Let's keep writing.